something that I've recently been thinking about a lot is that solutions journalism doesn't really require journalists to learn any new skills. They can bring what they already know to the table, but it does require them to rethink the role they play and what their job is, like what they're trying to accomplish, and that's the biggest difference, right? What the actual goal is. So for journalists that are tackling this, that are taking this course, that like the idea of solutions journalism, but are trying, everything they have been taught, everything they've been expected to do is report on problems. What's your advice to journalists that are trying to wrap their head around this? Do you have any tips for people, for journalists facing that, tackling that challenge?
Yeah, look, I think it's easy to say, harder to do, but we have to unlearn what we've learned, changing the narrative, and in doing so, chipping away at the newsroom culture. We as journalists are always looking to question authority, question the status quo in our reporting, and in our constitutional responsibility to hold the powerful accountable. But we seldom do that internally. We seldom do that in our newsrooms. Many newsrooms are playing off of a playbook that hasn't changed in over 50 years. Why is that? Why? And you have to ask yourself, why is that? Especially in newsrooms that, statistically speaking, and using my cap as a former president of the National Association of Hispanic Journalists, we know is lacking in diversity. And so when we start to use our reporting hats and use it internally and ask the right questions, we allow ourselves the opportunity to chip away at what has been the standard and really look to think about what's the next evolution of our newsroom, the next evolution of journalism, and how do we best serve the public. I learned through SJN that it's turning a top-down approach that often mainstream media is criticized for. This elitist journalist, better educated, telling you what you need to know, and flipping that around and listening to the public and being very present to what they're looking from their journalists, their newsrooms, and having that approach. And in doing so, we started to see the public as more than just an audience, but contributors to what we were discussing in regards to stories we're choosing to do, how we do them, and how we deliver them.